Patient is, but you never know that until you actually go out and do it, right? So that stuff they got to be very happy with from the coaching staff standpoint, is that people have gone out and been themselves, right? Really go after stuff, score points, and ended up with falls most of the time relatively rapidly.
Move on to 174 Brody Conley wrestling for West Virginia, and we'll see a home state boy, Elijah Wellings Osha, University High product, wrestling for Fairmont State. Final set of adjustments. Conley coming in at 12-1 on the year. Wellings Osha 4-11. This is a weight class where Fairmont State tried a couple different guys throughout the season.
Yeah, sometimes you're just searching for it, right? You're just. And Conley's just really wrestled well. I mean, been in good position, does some really nice stuff, strong.
The 8 mounts here, ranked wrestlers we highlighted in the open, coming in at 29th according to Flow Wrestling.
And you know, the rankings are nice, but ultimately what it comes down to is when you have these matchups with somebody, you got to win some of these of people that you're technically not supposed to beat. Or at least not supposed to beat on paper, right? I mean, that part of it, from a competitor standpoint, you know, who cares? I don't care who's won what, who's ranked what. Your job is to go out there and find a way to win the match.
Something Tim Flynn talked about was wrestling with a blank slate, basically. Whether it's 1 or 200 in the nation, come out with the same approach and do your job. Do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and obviously when you're wrestling the #1 guy, the margin for error is a little bit smaller, right? And when you're wrestling somebody who's not as good, you have some greater margin for error. But the reality is you have to be on that day, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, is to be at the top of your game on each time that you go out there. Which is why it's impressive, you know, the guys who are at the top guys who can consistently go out there all the time, knowing they've got a target on them. That anybody said I can get a win against them, or sometimes I stay within a point that I'm in within the margin for being able to score a win. That's kind of what they're after. Nice 4-point near fall.
Boosts the lead to 7-0. Especially a team will compete in the Midlands Championships next before the new year, and then kind of an intriguing match coming up on January 7th. They'll face Columbia, who's getting votes in the national rankings, at Atlantic City. Kind of a neutral site match. Will be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, it should be fun. You know, it'd be an opportunity to be in a place where you don't get to wrestle very often, and a team that you're not super familiar with. But the same thing applies, right? You're going to go. You got to bring you to every one of them, right? It's not about. It's really not where you are and who you're competing against. It's so much as who am I going to be today? And I think so far, I think West Virginia, the coaching staff, have done a really good job of being relatively consistent in that manner. And so much goes into that, Michael. I mean, how you manage your weight so that you have the energy to be able to do things when you're in the match. How you're training, your warm up, all that stuff, and the timing of it. Conley here with an opportunity for a fall, but time runs out. But you know what's going to run out too is that's going to end up being a tech fall because it's 18-1.
Dominant performance from West Virginia, adding to the total of pins as well as a major decision. Conley sliding right in between with the tech fall, getting the appreciation of the crowd after a dominant victory here in front of the home fans before Christmas. Thursday at 2 p.m. It's a midday matinee at the Coliseum as the Niagara Purple Eagles swoop in to take on the Mount Street women's basketball team. Tickets and select concessions are $1 and the only dollar day of the season. Thursday, 2 o'clock, women's hoops, and then men's hoops against Toledo on Saturday on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. WVU women undefeated after a big win over Wright State yesterday. Mountaineers pick up a forfeit at 184. Dennis Robin has his hand raised in the